Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever sold a stock that was doing great, you banked the profit, and for a minute you felt like an absolute genius, only to watch it just keep climbing, maybe another 50%? Ugh, it is one of the most frustrating feelings for any investor. Today, we're going to explore a hidden trap in our financial decision-making, and this isn't a trap set by the market, it's set by our own brains.
It's a question we've all asked ourselves, right? Even the pros struggle with this one. You've got a plan, you have a strategy, you know you're supposed to let your winners run. So why is that urge to sell just so powerful? Why do we so often cut our biggest successes short?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. The answer isn't in some trading textbook. Nope. It's found deep inside your brain, in a specific little region that, believe it or not, plays a huge role in how you experience pleasure and reward.
And this all leads us to what we can call the winning stock paradox. It's a behavior that, when you look at it on the surface, seems completely illogical, and yet it's something almost all of us do.
You know the drill. You buy a stock, it does exactly what you hoped it would, it starts going up. Now the logical thing to do is probably hold on, yeah? But there's this overwhelming feeling to just sell, to lock in that profit. So you hit the sell button, you see the cash pop up in your account, and for a moment it feels amazing. But then, you can't help it, you keep checking the ticker, and you watch in pure agony as it just keeps going up and up without you.
This whole paradox, this feeling, it isn't just in your head. It actually has a name. Behavioral economists and neuroscientists call it the disposition effect.
So what is it? It's basically a documented cognitive bias, a quirk in our thinking, where we have this built-in tendency to sell our winners way too early, while, and this is the other side of the coin, holding on to our losers for way too long. It's a 1-2 punch of bad decision-making.
Here's how it plays out. With our winners, we are driven by the absolute pleasure of realizing a gain, making it feel real. But with our losers, we're driven by a completely different emotion, the fear of realizing a loss. So we just hold on, hoping, praying that they'll just get back to even. The result? As they say, we end up selling the flowers and watering the weeds.
But why? Why on earth do we do this? To really get to the bottom of it, we have to go beyond the economics textbooks and take a look at the actual wiring of our brains.
So, the main character in this whole drama is a part of your brain called the striatum. Just think of it as your brain's reward and motivation hub. It's the exact same area that lights up when you eat a delicious meal, listen to your favorite song, or hit a big goal. It is fundamentally programmed to seek out rewarding experiences. And this sets off a very clear chain reaction in your brain. The moment you click that sell button on a winning stock, your brain doesn't just see numbers, it registers a realized gain. And that single act triggers intense activity in your striatum, which then unleashes dopamine. Yep, the famous feel-good chemical. You are literally getting a chemical reward for selling. Scientists actually have a name for this very specific pleasurable feeling. They call it realization utility. It's the satisfaction, that neural payoff that your brain gets from turning an abstract paper profit into tangible, real cash. It feels good because, biologically speaking, it is good. Well, at least for a moment. And that right there, that leads us to the heart of the problem. That satisfying feeling, that realization utility, it isn't just some harmless reward. It's a trap. This really gets to the core conflict we all face. On one hand, you've got the immediate, guaranteed, high-pleasure reward of selling. Your brain knows for a fact that if you sell right now, you will get that hit of dopamine. On the other hand, you've got the potential for a much larger but totally uncertain future gain if you just hold on.
See, our brains evolved to prioritize immediate, certain rewards over distant, uncertain ones. It's an ancient survival mechanism, right? A bird in the hand. So when we're faced with this choice, that powerful, guaranteed pleasure of realization utility right now often hijacks our rational mind, which is busy trying to calculate the potential for a bigger reward down the road.
So what in the world are we supposed to do about this? I mean, we can't exactly rewire our brains, but the most powerful tool we have is simply knowing the trap exists. All right, let's wrap this all up. First things first, that powerful urge you feel to sell a winning stock, it isn't a failure of your strategy. It's a deep-seated biological impulse. Second, that impulse is being driven specifically by your brain's reward center, the striatum, which is chasing that satisfying hit of realization utility. Third, this whole process creates a dangerous trap that makes us favor short-term pleasure over what's actually best for our long-term growth. And finally, and this is the most important part, just being aware of this, just knowing this is happening, is the absolute first step to fighting back against it.
So the next time you see one of your stocks in the green and you feel that powerful itch to sell and lock in the profit, you can pause. You can ask yourself this question. Are you making a decision based on your long-term strategy, on a logical analysis, or are you just chasing a quick dopamine hit? Knowing the difference? Well, that can change everything.